on both. We're back, ladies and gentlemen.
And we're back. So, while during break, you had dropped a couple of other names that we should probably talk about. Let's start with Janet Jackson, right? How did you meet her?
Tower Records again.
Tower Records? What, she just come in to
she came in
to buy some tapes?
Yeah, well, no, she came in to meet the people that worked there.
Oh, okay. All right.
A lot of that, either they're there to buy things or they're there to meet the people that push their records, sell their records. So in her case, that's what happened. She was there for that. And she was really nice. She was really cool.
Uh-huh.
And we sit there and talked in the aisle about All My Children, the soap opera, because I was into that at the time.
Okay.
So we sit there. I remember that very, very vividly. And this was before she did the Control album. It was, the very first album she had done.
Okay.
Which didn't do much, but she came then, and we talked. It was very cool.
Okay, nice. She wasn't asking if you had the new Michael Jackson tape.
No, she did not.
Okay.
She did not.
And then Stevie Wonder.
Okay.
My goodness.
Stevie Wonder. I had a girlfriend who worked at Tower at the time, and we were talking about 2 weeks before, and I said, if you could meet one person, who would you want to meet? And she said Stevie Wonder. Well, about 2 weeks later, Stevie Wonder walks in.
The universe.
Yeah.
Works so well.
So I go, wow, Stevie Wonder. And she's in the back doing what I did with Princess Leia and, tagging and stuff.
Yeah,
and,
right.
And not wanting to stop. And I said, Shirley, you have to come in. No, I'm doing stuff. Why do you want, I said, Shirley, come on. Seriously, you want to come outside here. Come on. So she's yelling and hollering. Why you make me do this? And I turn around and she sees Stevie Wonder and she freaks.
Yeah.
And Stevie Wonder has on the glasses and you can see his eyebrow raise a bit. Like what's going on here?
Uh-huh.
And I say, excuse me, Stevie. And this is the time when I did say, hello, my name is Skip.
Hey, you learned something. Okay.
Was this before or after the Bill Murray incident?
This was before. But he's blind.
Right.
Even I say, hey, Stevie, my name is Skip. I work here at Tower Records. And the other week, my girlfriend Shirley, she's here too with me at Tower Records. She's talking about, she would love to meet you out of anybody in the world. And so she's here, and I'd like for you to meet her. And he goes, oh, wow, okay, well, Shirley, that's your name? And she says, yes. And she's trembling. He says, Shirley, come over here. And he takes her hand, and he puts it over his elbow and says, show me around. Show me around the record store.
Wow.
Oh.
So she showed him around. I think that made her life.
Oh, hey, sure. Sure.
And the really funny part was, you know what he left with?
Shirley? No. Sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. What did he leave? Sorry.
He left with all his Stevie Wonder records.
Oh.
He bought his catalog.
Whoa.
And he said the reason was because he had met a woman and she wasn't familiar with his catalog. And he thought she might like to be familiar with
things we will do for a woman.
Yeah, I tell you, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, that's great.
Absolutely.
That's great. And how much did he pay for his whole catalog that day?
I have no idea.
Okay.
And at one point I had, these are two things I lost. I know where I lost them and I never see him again. But I had his charge card because with him, his real name was on there, Stevland Morris, something like that. And he had a pad that he would, a pad where he would take his thumb print and print it, put it on the, charge card. I mean, the slip. Mm-hmm. That's how he did it. So I made a copy because I wanted this.
Okay.
This is, wow.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was I had a guitar pick from Prince that said "Love God" on it, and I had those things. I lost them. I know where I lost them, but
yeah.
no going back there.
Right. Right.
So anyway,
That's
So
remarkable.
when you moved back to Kansas City, how long was it before you got back? And I mean, did you stop playing in bands? Did you stop playing at all? Are we completely? I mean,
I stopped playing. I had to get back to being able to play. That's how it was for me. So I had to get a job. I had to do those things.
I guess let me step back. So after Riot Going On ended, and what was that? I'm assuming that was early 90s.
Yeah.
And so that did you join any other bands after that, or did you just stop after that point?
I probably did. Oh, okay. This is one I can't leave out. This is before Riot Going On. Let's go back to Sweat Pony.
Yes.
Before we were trying to put the band together, and I had a friend who subleased Prince's guitar player. His name was Miko Weaver at the time, and he subletted his place, and my friend had the place. Well, my friend didn't need the place anymore, and he sublet it to me. I never met the man. This was just all through, But anyway, we had this big, huge space where we could audition people. And one of the people that came was this guy named Greg. And Greg was an amazing keyboard player. He was just amazing. And Greg was with us for a half a second. Then he just kind of disappeared. That's another story altogether. It had nothing to do with us. But Greg, I would run into Greg at other points. Hey, man, how you doing? La, la, la. And I was doing the Riot Going On thing. And we were passing from, I was coming out of the studio. He was going into the studio we were in. And I said, hey, Greg, man, what are you doing these days? And he said, well, man, I'm putting a band together. I said, oh, cool. And what's the name of the band? Digital Underground.
Ah, yeah. Wow. Okay.
And Greg, I know Humpty is Greg. Yeah.
Wow.
Rest his soul.
Dang. Yeah.
Yeah. But I knew him as Greg.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had to tell
Pretty
that
good.
story. Yeah.
That's pretty good right there.
Yeah.
Just heard some last night. Still in Winnebago's played
yeah.
some.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's amazing. He was an amazing keyboard player, man. I mean, high level keyboard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after Riot Going On, that ends, and so basically the last 7 or 8 years you're in San Francisco. You're not even in playing music or in bands.
I'm sure I am, but I don't remember.
Nothing. I guess important enough to stand out.
No, I'm sure I.
And so you come back to Kansas City, settle, you get a job, you're doing your thing. So at what point after moving back, which that would have been 2001, 2002, I think when did was the Rent the first band that you got to?
No, the band. I woke up one day and I needed money, and I said, "How do I make some extra money?" And my head said, "Well, you play bass. Why don't you get in the band?" So I put out an ad, and
Back in the day,
pre-Craigslist,
yeah,
Facebook, Craigslist,
hey,
Craigslist, and I ended up with these guys called the Moorheads.
the Moorheads.
And the Moorheads was a hard rock band, drop D bass, that kind of thing. Audio Slave and
Yes, right.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Right.
And
you're a funk fusion guy.
no, I'm a little bit of whatever I need to be at the time.
Okay.
I mean, I grew up with rock and soul and funk, and I grew up with those things. I'd be the only black guy to go see Black Oak, Arkansas, or Grand Funk Railroad. I'd be there.
Yeah.
And didn't think a thing about it. Van Halen. I just did what. And
Did you enjoy that? Did you enjoy playing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I had no problem. They had gigs. That was the number one thing.
right,
They had gigs
right.
and they had lots of them, and it was like, okay, cool, I'll play. And so I played with these guys, and I went to the audition, learning a couple of songs for the audition, and the guitar player started playing Deep Purple Highway Star.
Yeah, great
And
song.
that wasn't part of the audition, but I knew
Okay.
how it went, and I had heard it a million times. It was one of my favorite things. So I had bad notes, but they knew I knew what I was doing, and so I got the gig, and I played with them for many years there for a while, and then I went to the Rent,
Okay.
and the Rent was a more a variety thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's when I met you, was during the Rent days, because I
Correct.
knew Corey.
correct.
Yes. And
Yeah.
I think that's how I met both you and Marlon.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah.
And where would you guys play generally?
We were playing off 119th Street. It was called the Fuel then.
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, they
Okay.
played the same circuit as the Zeros and all the
Okay,
bands
all right.
back in that era.
Yeah.
Brooksider.
Yeah,
remember
Brooksider.
Remember Raglan Road?
Wow.
Raglan Road and
Yeah,
Power and Light.
Yeah, Power and Light.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
You know it better than I do.
yeah, and then I remember you had me come out. You guys were playing Kelly's, and it was after
Yes.
Corey left, and the lineup was basically you, Marlon, and then two different people beside.
At one point, we had a female singer,
Yes, and then you had
and she was really great, but she had some things didn't quite work.
right.
Actually, it's really weird. Last time I was, not the last time, but one of the times I was in the L.A., I ran into her. She had moved down there.
So you went to visit L.A. after you moved back to Kansas City. You're visiting,
Yeah.
and then you run into her who had moved out.
Yeah. That was wild. I was like, no, this can't be what I think it is. So I followed the person into the shop, and sure enough, it was her. I was like, wow. But, she's still around, she just, some people have demons,
I see.
and she had some demons that she had to deal with.
Sure. And that was, because didn't you have another guy who was
Yeah.
singing
Yeah.
after Corey? I
Mhm.
remember he was the one who was singing that night. You had me come out and take photos at
Daniel.
Kelly's. Daniel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that might have been the last time I saw a Rent show was when he was the guy
Yeah.
singing. And I don't think I ever saw you with the girl.
Oh,
So,
really?
No, I don't think I did. So, then of course the reunion you guys did with the Rent at Purple Jam.
Yeah.
Was that 2 years ago?
Yeah.
That's right. You did your reunion.
Well, kind of, because what happened that day didn't go the way we thought it was going to go.
Oh, okay.
What happened was we had picked a song called 7779311, which is a song by The Time.
Right.
Very tricky drum beat. It was done electronically. Not many people can do that drum beat. But Casey, our drummer, could. So I picked this song. And in fact, Tyson called me before it happened. He said, listen, who you got drumming for this song? And I said, this guy named Casey. He said, yeah, many people can play this song. I said, Tyson, we have it. I get you.
Yeah.
Well, the day of Purple Jam, Casey gets COVID.
Damn Corona.
So yeah, and so we did the best we could.
Who filled in? Who?
God, I'm sorry.
Todd Owen?
No, it wasn't Todd. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
He's gonna kill me.
No worries.
I
worries.
apologize. But he filled in, and yeah, it's a hard.
So you
song.
got to play it. You got to play the song. Now.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Well, we decided to go with it.
And Tyson was fine.
Well, yeah, he didn't say anything.
Okay.
But-
Well, that's great.
But that's all I had to say.
Well, it shows you how plugged in he is, though. He knows.
But yeah,
He knows.
Casey got COVID, and yeah, he called me that day, man. I went, oh Lord.
That's how it happens.
I started to say, man, let's just do it. I said, no, not good. I'm just kidding. But yeah.
So, and you're playing Purple Jam this year, since we're on the subject of Purple Jam, and I forget we started with what songs you were going to be playing. Do you know?
Yeah, I know the songs. I can't.
Oh, that's right. You couldn't say.
I won't say.
Right.
I will say one is very, very well known in the Prince. It's very well known.
Well,
and
you're the only person up there that's met him, probably in that whole lineup that's going to be there on May 26th, right?
Yeah.
At Knuckleheads.
Yeah.
You're going to be the only one that's ever met Prince. And what a distinction that is for you.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, maybe I'm the only one. Who knows?
Maybe Tyson, but I don't know. I mean.
But I mean, if it wasn't for Tyson and the Purple Jam, it took me to another level. As far as meeting people.
Exactly, because that was the very first Purple Jam, which, that was sort of how Superstar Mafia was born.
Correct.
Correct. I did not know that.
Correct.
Well, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Then.
So I saw that there was going to be a Prince tribute, and I said, you know what? I'm going to get myself on this. So I got a hold of Tyson, who didn't know me from Adam, and he even said so. I don't know you from Adam. Yeah, I said, I got that. He said, but can you stand and deliver? Can you play? I said, yes, I can. I can do this.
Here's stepping back. That's who the drummer was for The Rent that night, behind Corey.
I know his face. I just can't remember his name right now.
I don't know who that.
I don't know him by name either.
He's in a event band and doing really well.
Okay, like how could I?
In fact,
Freedom Affair.
You see their videos on Facebook all the time. I can't think. It's
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. And so he sit in, and but I called Tyson, said, hey man, I want to be in this. So I got there and did my 2 songs, and while I was there, I met Nate Leonard, and I met Michael Small, and I met Jerry Baden.
Yeah.
And he came up to me and he started talking about this band he wanted to put together and la 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 la, and he was just talking. He had an idea and la la la.
Yeah. And
I must have had a really good day, because I just go with, okay, let's see what happens here, And so we would get together, us 3, and there was a Scott Moyer. Scott Moyer was going to be the guitar player, and us 3, and we got together a couple of times just to talk about it. And one thing led to another, and we started playing, rehearsing, and Scott left, and because he was doing his own thing, and he was going through, what people go through in life, and Nate knew from the jams Joseph Ranian, who's our
Seth, yeah.
Seth. And Jerry and Michael knew Deanne from the jams, the Jerry Jam.
Yeah, right.
And so they came in, and one thing led to another, and here we are.
Boom. One of the more popular bands in Kansas City.
Yeah, and Jerry was the start of it. He was the drummer.
Yeah.
And he was the godfather.
Right.
And, Jerry was a firefighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Jerry didn't have the right protective clothing. you know.
And yeah, this is regarding his career and
Right.
like as far as protecting him from
Right.
hazardous materials. And
Right.
so, yes, yeah. We talked a little bit about this in Deanne's interview about how he
Right.
contracted multiple myeloma or I don't know
My
if that's the right
goodness.
way. You know, he got
Yeah.
multiple myeloma and after years of treatment,
Years.
finally. So, yeah.
Right.
And when I knew him, he had it, but you couldn't tell. You didn't know, other than, he would go away for a while to do tests or whatever it was he's doing. And there were times that it was just weird, man. At one point, he was in the hospital, about to face death. Next day I walk in and he looked perfectly fine. And I went, dude, are you
Firefighters.
with us?
That's a
Are
firefighter for you.
Are you messing with us? Or is this real? Is this a joke? I really not. But as it turned out, sadly, it wasn't a joke. But we played, the last gig we played with Jerry. Jerry would come and to some of our gigs.
And this was, he was the drummer. Now this time period, Purple Jam, the first one was 2016. So you had been a band for a little over two and a half, going on 3 years. By the time, he went into remission. I remember he had a party at the ship, incidentally. And he had a party to celebrate him going into remission, and that was in June of 2018. So some of us showed up and we hung out with him, and he was all happy and all that. But then by the time we did that photo shoot in his loft in February of 2019, I think it had come back.
Yeah.
And so that was sort of the beginning of the final stages and all that. But I think he more or less kind of started retiring, so to speak, and then you had Scotty McBee filling in on drums, and then he would sometimes sit in for a few songs, but then he'd step out. And that was what it was like that final year with him in the summer of 19.
Except we did Jazzoo that year, and Scotty was our stand-in drummer. Scotty would do the majority of the drumming, and Jerry, as always, hey, you want to play? Come on, let's. And Jerry said, yeah, sure, I want to play. So that
was pretty much his last show, right?
But you know what? He played the whole show.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
because he would normally come and he played maybe 1-2 songs and that was it.
He'd run out of energy, yeah.
He played the whole show, and we would turn around, Jerry, keep going.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa. And he played that whole show, man. And, sit down and everything. We, got the stuff home. He was perfectly. And to me, I always thought that was the way a blaze of glory. He wanted to go out that way, man. He wanted to do that final hurrah.
Yeah.
That just,
Or rather, just in case it would be, because I
Yeah,
think it was not long after that he finally went to the hospital, and then that was kind of, it was like within a week or two, he had gone back to the hospital really for the final time, and then lingered for another 2 months before passing in August of that year.
But man, he was just, it was like, wow. So yeah.
Yeah.
And so that kind of, think about it now. It's been 5 years. So you've been without him for longer than you were with him when you think
Wow,
about it.
really?
3 years, founded in 2016. He passes in 2019. So that was 3 years you had with him. So now in the post-Jerry era, it's been longer, but the important thing was that he encouraged you guys to continue. That was the thing, because wasn't that the sort of the big question at that point?
Yeah. But like, wow.
One thing that struck me, and I remember you posting this at his funeral. Everybody was getting up and speaking. I think you posted on Facebook about it, like they were going to kind of cut off all the tributes, and then you guys had to like advocate, hey, we want to say something.
Yeah.
You almost had to like,
that was, let's go, let's do this, let's talk. And so we went up there and talked, because they were I mean, everybody wanted to talk, of course, but I said, man, no, let's throw away the book. You know, let's just do this, and let's, you know, tell them what we saw and tell them how we felt.
You guys, you know, firsthand, yeah.
But he was a great guy, you know. And if it wasn't for him and Tyson, and you know, I feel indebted to those. There's some people, you know, that I feel indebted to, you know, for life.
You never know who you meet and how somebody, even innocuously, just kind of think about what that did for all of our lives in a lot of ways. But Purple Jam, for you and the guys in Mafia, you know, kind of set that, you know, set that path, you know, as far as, you know, and I'm assuming, you know, the part of the reason that you do this at this point, you know, you're not trying to be original famous stars, but you're doing it just for something fun. I mean, I think it's got to be something about, obviously you want to make your money playing those gigs, but also just, you know, hanging out with some friends on the weekend playing music.
Well, you know, Purple Jam is none of us get paid.
Sure, yeah, but I'm talking about Mafia as a band, and then Purple Jam's just the thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing.
Well, there's a lot of entertainment value with Superstar Mafia, and now you got Scotty McBee as your drummer. I'm sure two completely different personalities.
Oh, he's an asshole.
There you go. Okay, and that's great.
No,
that's great.
But yeah, if it wasn't for Scotty, we, you know, what we do, or at least in my mind, maybe others, they think differently, but, and I'm very hard on drummers. I'll just be straight about it.
It's that whole rhythm section thing.
I'm just very hard, and I'm not the greatest bass player in the world, but damn, you'd be a better drummer than me, you know, and I just feel that way, you know, and the drums start everything. And if you don't have the right drummer, I don't care who you are. If you're Eddie Van Halen or Stanley Clark or whatever you may be, Marvin Gaye, if you don't have the right drummer, you can call it a day. You just, that's number one thing. Get a good drummer.
Yeah.
And good drummers are hard to find, especially good drummers that can do more than one thing. Most people have their wheelhouse, and that's cool. That's what they do, you know. But Superstar Mafia, we do a little bit of, you know, we do a little bit of everything.
You're exactly right, you guys.
Yeah, Scotty's something of a virtuoso.
Yeah. And so, you know, it's hard to find those kind of people. And, you know, he was there, you know, and again.
Well, the funny story I hear about him is like, he'd rather be playing guitar, you know, but he keeps getting these drumming gigs. And so I'd rather be playing guitar the whole time.
Well, like I said, it's hard to find a good drummer.
Yeah. It's too bad.
I always thought the hardest thing to find was a good keyboardist.
Yeah.
I thought that was the thing. That's the one.
They are hard, but the keyboard ain't going to go nowhere if the drummer ain't going.
No, okay.
You know, no matter what you say, if they have drums involved, it's not going anywhere if the drums aren't there.
Right.
Period. I don't care what it is.
And hey, you know, Michael Smalls, he's a good keyboard player.
Yeah.
He's
semi-retired.
Semi-retired, but you know, it's him, Jim Irwin. Who were some other ones? There's other ones.
I can't remember the Shanks old keyboardist. I think his name is Casey, if I remember correctly. But very few bands have a live keyboardist.
Lynn Buck, I'm sorry. Just saw him last night, as a matter of fact.
I mean, bass player, you name it, whatever they may do, if you are playing with a drummer, you know, you have to have the drummer that can move that thing.
And so Scotty does a good job of that then.
Well, sometimes.
For the most part. He works in a pinch.
No, he's quite good.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
He's quite good.
Right.
I was listening to him yesterday while we were on my heads. I'm going, damn, I get the thump, you know. But yeah, Scotty is a good guy.
Well, and he's funny too. Yeah. He's a funny guy.
He's an asshole.
There you go.
But no, he's a good person. And if it wasn't for him, you know, we couldn't have kept moving.
Yeah, okay.
So,
because you've had other guest drummers as needed over the years. I know you like Andrew Moore from Perpetual Change, and I think you even had Casey Didn't Casey come in and fill in one night when Scotty had back problems?
Oh yeah,
Because he drove Casey, your old drummer, that one that you were talking about,
Right.
from the Rent, and
Right.
he had COVID the night of that Purple Jam show.
Yeah.
But he came in. I remember that because
Yeah.
Scotty's back hurt, and then you called him, and he just happened to be available, and then he came
Thank
in and
God.
filled in for the second set.
Yeah, thank God.
At Barley's, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, he did. He came in and did it. But to find those people, it's not easy. Drummers are, to me, and Scotty even he agrees. That's got to have a drummer.
Yeah.
Got to have a drummer.
You got to. So, what's the next gig? We talked about Purple Jam, but Superstar Mafia.
Well, yeah, actually, Superstar Mafia, Purple Jam. We're 2 weeks out from Purple Jam, aren't we?
Couple.
Let's see here.
Oh, he's got his book.
My book.
All right.
The next gig we have is May 17th at Brewtop South.
All right.
Okay.
And the day after that, May 18th, we're playing Power and Light Live.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Right
All
on.
right. Well,
Power and Light
let's
Live.
put
That's May 18th.
Let's
Yeah.
put that on.
And as we record this on Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, Purple Jam is the 26th, which is 3 weeks from today.
Right.
So by the time this airs sometime this week, we'll have, we'll be a little bit closer. But yes, we're coming up here, a couple big gigs.
Right.
Power and Light's always a fun venue.
And then after that, on the 24th of Friday, that's a Friday, we were playing Barley's.
So 2 days
Okay.
before Purple Jam.
Oh, wow.
Exactly.
Yeah, you
There we
know.
go. Awesome.
Yeah. So,
Well, and so, you just recently had back surgery. How
Yeah,
are you feeling?
yeah,
How are
that's
you
right.
holding up? I mean, now you're talking, you're going to do 2 gigs in a matter of 3 days or 4 days. How are you holding up right now? How was last night? You doing? You're here today. Thank you so much for that.
I'm doing okay. It's really interesting because I get up there and I play, but I'm still not there. I'm.
Yeah.
You have your stool.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't. I stand up now, and,
Okay.
and I had that stool for one night, I think, and
It was a pain in the ass.
yeah, I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't. I wanted to move, and I just kind of went, forget this little stool, and
Right.
I put it to the side, and I think maybe the second night I sit down there for a minute, if that. But I'm more of a. I like to move. I like to.
It's almost part of your playing.
Yeah, and so I'm back to that.
Great.
But I have to really think about. Actually, when I'm actually there, I'm kind of in the zone.
Right.
But
The next day, you're regretting being in the zone.
well, the leg says, that was cute. No,
Right.
we'll let you do it.
You got to have learn some physical. That they teach you some physical therapy, stretches and exercises to
Yeah.
help with that.
Are you
Yeah,
still going through physical therapy?
Yes,
right
I
now?
am.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
And the playing, is that therapy as well? I mean, I would assume. I mean, being active and stuff.
Very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not in any pain. I haven't been
Hey,
in any
that's-
pain.
That's the
It's
important
just,
thing.
it's uncomfortable. It's not. This leg feels normal, and this leg feels
That-
heavy
that
and
nerve,
really
yeah,
weird, and
right.
just really I can't
It'll
explain
get
it.
there. It'll get there.
But yeah, that's what the doctor says.
Right.
And, so I'm just, I'm going, as the doctor says, and as I say, I'm going through life. I'm just doing
Yeah.
my thing. And it'll happen. That hopefully.
It will.
Yeah.
It will. And it has for you. Brian and I talked about interviewing you and just the stories that you were going to tell, and you've certainly delivered.
Yes.
This has been a great interview.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely, we appreciate
Yes.
you getting down here. It's Sunday. I mean, this is a good day to do it.
Right.
Good day
Sunday,
to do it.
but I mean, you played until 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Got home, but didn't get to bed till what, 4 or 5 o'clock?
4 or 5.
And here you are.
Woke up at 9. I just wake up at 9 anyway, and so
Yeah.
here I am, and I appreciate it. I didn't know how this was going to work or what was going to happen, or
I think people don't quite expect it's just us hanging around, just BSing.
But look at you. You have all kinds of. You got.
Did we actually ask any of these questions?
I don't know. Let's see here.
Yeah, you did.
Did anything get knocked?
Oh, you know what? Okay, real quick. Do you have tell us about your bass setup? Is there anything in particular about your bass gear or anything?
Yeah, it's gotten light.
It's got the lighter the better.
It's gotten light. When I fell down, what happened was back in August 20th. I don't remember the exact date, but 2022. And I fell and had to have my I had a rupture of my rupture of my
disc-ish. Well, whatever. We can just say
it was a rupture.
It was a rupture.
Yeah.
Right.
And
hamstring?
Yeah, basically around there. Yeah. So I have been going through this for a couple of years now. Well, when you go through this, heavy stuff you can't lift. And so I found out there was technology out there now, because I used to have, and still do, these big, huge cabinets, heavy cabinets. And I used to have I had the 110-pound, amplifier head, and all that stuff. And I found out now that I have a box that's about the size of this. That
Technology.
Weighs about like this.
Right. Just put it in your pocket.
Plug this into there. I have a wireless on guitar, so I don't have any wires anymore. And this does it. This plugs into the PA. It's booming.
Crazy.
I've got the head the
Inner
earplugs.
ears?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And
And there you go.
So I don't have to use any of that. But I used to use Ampegs. Ampegs. I used to have all those combinations, and still do. They're laying in my house up there.
Right.
But
collecting dust at the moment. Yeah.
And I was always a Fender guy, and I still play
Fender. That was going to be my next question. So you're a Fender guy.
Yeah, I'm a Fender guy, and I play cheap Fenders too, or cheap things too, just because I didn't have the money, and I could make them sound. They're going to sound crummy no matter what it is that I play. It doesn't matter. It's going to be me. And so that's what I do. But I like Fenders, and I have one Fender. I never bring it out. That is it's a 1968 Fender jazz bass with a 72 neck, and I very seldom ever take that out.
Wow.
But and I've got lots of about 10 basses or so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You still have your first bass.
Yeah.
And that's the most important one right there.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Totally. I have to get, I don't know how, I have to get it fixed, but I am going to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, that's what I do. That's, technology,
Technology, Brian.
Yes.
Totally.
All right. Well, this technology made today possible, as a matter of fact. So with this setup.
We're so indebted to you for being here. Thank you so much. Man.
Yes.
Well, I appreciate, you guys for having me.
Yeah.
Hey,
it was enjoyable.
our
I always
pleasure.
knew, like, we gotta get him in. He's going to have all the stories.
Exactly.
Because I remember you had told the Carrie Fisher story before. I was like, oh, no, we got to get that for posterity on tape.
And I see what you're about now.
There you go. She's here with us in spirit. And Prince as well.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. And once again, we'll just hold on. Wait, which one's not the laughing one? There's a trick to it. Anyway, Skip Godley, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Brian Rice with Shannon Gieber.
Yep, Superstar Mafia.
Kansas City Knights.
For life. There you go.
All right, see you next time, people.
Skip.
Thank you.
And stop.
Good stuff.